welcome you into tonight's coverage of the Pro Volleyball Federation, and the reigning regular season champions have returned home. It is opening night at Gas South Arena for the Atlanta Vibe, fresh off their first win of the season, taking on the 0-1 Columbus Fury. And we are ready to go. Hi, everyone. Andy Demetric, Keely Evelyn. So thrilled to be back for another season of Atlanta Vibe Volleyball. And Keely, last year, the Vibe were the team to beat, but their championship dreams fell short of the championship match. So 2025 is about unfinished business here in Atlanta.
Last year, Atlanta was a best defensive team and the best offensive team. They know a successful season starts with defending their home court. They're going to need that today with a strong service game from the Fury.
They had very few weaknesses as they went 19-5 last regular season, the league-leading 10 sweeps, as you see, almost unbeatable when taking the first set. But those only 2 losses they suffered among their last 17 came at the hands of the Fury. So head coach Angel Perez cracked the code against this Atlanta team. It is almost a brand new Fury team, but he does have the one player he calls the cornerstone of his franchise, the outside hitter, Megan Lush.
So impressive. Last year she hit over 31% kill percentage, putting that authority, and the most impressive part is her ability to work the hands off the blocks. You're going to see a lot of different shots today. She carries the leadership as the franchise player. Coach Perez puts a lot of responsibility on it, but she is ready for it.
Meanwhile, Vibe fans will get their first in-person look at the #1 pick in the Pro Volleyball Federation draft, the opposite, Merritt Beeson.
This first-team All-American from Nebraska is here in Atlanta with the PVF, rocking some good volleyball to start, almost averaging 4 kills per set and 2 digs per set, letting her presence be known right from the get-go.
Already making an imprint on this Vibe team. The Vibes are high inside Gas South Arena. First serve between Atlanta and Columbus comes her way next. Inside Gas South Arena for the first time this season, a home opener for the Atlanta Vibe as they take on the Columbus Fury. First of 4 regular season meetings between Atlanta and Columbus. Vibe made quick work of Las Vegas on Sunday, a 3-0 sweep at 262, down to throw to 114. Columbus trying to shake off a 4-set loss to San Diego, were really hampered by service errors in that match, only hit 158. But again, a Vibe team that had been dominant at Gas South Arena last year. Only 3-set losses in their last 8 home matches. But for whatever reason, Columbus was a thorn in their side last year.
What Columbus did an excellent job of last year was a strong service game. Coach Angel Perez talked about they're going to stick to that same type of game plan. If they can create any type of breakdown in serve-receive, it gives them a better opportunity to transition out. But you cannot have Marley Monserrat, the setter for Vibe, at the net running an offense because there's just too many strong threats in that game.
And Columbus also shorthanded tonight. They have a bug running through their locker room. It's costing them a couple of starters tonight. And their opposite, Isabella Raypatch, and their setter, Wilma Rivera. And so the second-year pro from Oregon, Morgan Lewis, will step in for Raypatch. And the former Vibe setter, Tori Stringer, will run the show for Columbus. One of her better matches of the year last season came in a win over the Vibe, and certainly a player that the Vibe players and Vibe fans know well.
One thing you love to watch with Tori Stringer is her competitive spirit. She'll bring that today here in Atlanta.
Of course, was coached by Angel Perez in the professional leagues in Puerto Rico. Atlanta dropped a 5-setter on opening night versus Omaha, but shook that off, and with a sweep over Las Vegas, which featured an 8-0 scoring run in the first set. You can tell those fans are fired up for some volleyball. Another great atmosphere awaits us tonight and all season long at Gas South Arena. And it'll be Stringer to wind it up and get us started. And we are underway. Monterey. And a cross-court kill by Pia Timmer, the rookie from Washington State, coming off 5 kills versus Las Vegas, continued to find her form early.
Even on a scramble, Timmer able to find that inside cut shot, out of system play, but still Atlanta finding some offense.
And a double-double versus the Supernovas on opening night. And that shot is wide, out of bounds for the Vibe point. Something Caleb Barnworth said in our pregame conversation. Coach Barnworth said Columbus is looking for tools and shots off hands. They need to be very disciplined with their hands on the block and then scrappy behind that on defense. Middle attack is turned back as the Fury reload, and it didn't catch hands. The swing long, and the Vibe jump out to the 3-0 lead.
And you saw that on the last 2 shots. This one, first trying to test the middle of the court, going outside to try to put it off the hands is Cox, but just missing the touch.
And a service error gives the Fury its first point of the match. Kaylee Cox, the 6'3 rookie, out of Western Kentucky and Missouri, double-digit kills in their 4-set loss to San Diego. She'll be at the service line. Angel Perez really believes Kaylee Cox, number 8, has the highest ceiling on this young team. Serving to Edmond, trying to take her out of the play as that's swatted down through the middle. The point by Corey Lewis, the rookie from Florida State.
Oh, how impressive was that set? Almost to the 3-meter line. There you go. Giving it to your middle is Marley Monterey for the put away to Lewis.
And a Florida Gator setting a Florida State Seminole. Cats and dogs, they can get along in the Pro Volleyball Federation. Lewis was terrific in that win versus Las Vegas. Had 9 kills on a .727 hitting percentage as the side out comes from Morgan Lewis in the start, as we said, in place of Ray Potch. Walker on the service line. The back set, turned back, dug up by Edmond. A lot of traffic in the middle. Opportunity now. Off the back row attack, it was hit soft by Cox and sent back by Lewis. She gets the defensive point.
Great discipline by middle blocker Corey Lewis to hold strong, watch the vision down, did not hesitate, watch the set. Little hang time helps as well to get that to drop.
Yeah, suspended in midair there. To get her second points of this opening set, 5 serving 2. You know, this is a Vibe team that led the PVF in blocks per set last year. They welcome back their returning starting middle blocker in Shelly Fanning, but she suffered a foot injury on opening night in Omaha. And so middle blocking duties now split between Lewis and McKenna Vicini, the rookie from Stanford. But Caleb Banworth had some really high praise for Corey Lewis, said she could become unstoppable in the middle. And so it certainly is not a weakness, even though the Vibe are playing without Fanning. That is swatted off the net and down. Catches the line for the Vibe side out.
This back row attack, you see the middle transition working for the Fury, but that back row attack, a little friendly bounce, you're getting it, is Beeson.
When you hit it with that much speed and that much power, Merritt Beeson is going to get some friendly bounces off the net. Soft over the double block, a dig by Beeson. And flying in from the back, a nice back row dig by Cox. Through the block, and it falls. Yeah, smart shot by Morgan Lewis. Had to reach for it. Was able to rattle it through the double block.
Lewis recognized the middle blocker. Corey Lewis, number 22 on your screen, was playing left back. Go ahead and do a little change up. Make the layout happen by the tall 6'3 middle.
Drafted the 3rd round last year. Former 3rd-team All-American with the Oregon Ducks. Spent last season with the Mojo. Had 127 kills. One of the 8 free agent acquisitions this offseason by the Fury, and the double block puts another point on the board for the Fury as it was Cox flying high.
Cox coming up all the way over to help. Watch a trio going up nice and strong with a little help. If you know it's out of system and Edmond's getting it, she's coming to swing.
Oh, and a soft serve results in the ace. All of a sudden, it's a 3-0 Fury spurt. And the ace by the anchor, Megan Lush.
Watch the walk back. So calm. Such a competitor in that game. Way to drop it short. Monserrat
feeding Edmond. Now it's Cox from a standstill. That's slowed at the net. Edmond has it blocked. You're making the Vibe work for it. Dumped over on two. Pancake, no. Point Fury. And they take their first lead of the set.
First off, an impressive cover by Morgan Hens to keep the rally going. And this one, Stringer dropping it on her former team, knowing where the open hole was.
It was the first ever signing of the Vibe, but ultimately Marley Monserrat took her starting spot, and she was the first in-season PVF trade last year as Atlanta dealt her to Columbus, where Stringer is reuniting with her former coach in Puerto Rico in Angel Perez. The side out by Beeson, knocks us at 7. Overpass. And a free ball for the Vibe. What do they do with it? How about Edmond? But a great dig from the back.
Ooh.
Oh, what a hit. But the point falls for the Fury.
Edmond had the read, but wasn't far enough out for the line. Lewis took the angle, hit the ball extremely hard to get that bounce out of bounds quickly.
There was nothing finesse about that swing from Morgan Lewis. You're playing well at the net so far, Keeley.
A lot of touches off the block. I've been impressed with the block lineup. This is what you have to do. If you can't get it through hard, Edmond was like, let me go ahead, test the court with the drop shot tip off a slide. Nonetheless, in transition, Edmond can do it all.
Kayla Banworth said she was hoping to get Leah Edmond going. Had 13 points, 6 kills, but 5 aces in that sweep over Las Vegas. Oh, low flat set. Nice dig from the back by Lush. And the rally continues. Monserrat, quick set. Off the block touch, here's Cox. Down the line. And a point. Kaylee Cox getting into a rhythm early.
And you absolutely love that. With the game with Fury working hands. Watch, good block touch, good transition. Sarame picking that up, and then off the hands, down the line. Go ahead, get you some, Cox.
Rookie from Western Kentucky. As the Fury able to absorb that early 5-2 deficit. And obviously the rosters are virtually brand new, more so for Columbus than for Atlanta. But you have to acknowledge the fact that the Fury dealt Atlanta 2 regular season losses. They were the only team in the PVF to beat Atlanta twice in the regular season. And if you look at the box scores and rewatch those matches, one of the connective threads, Keeley, was Angel Perez's team had double-digit blocks in both matches, and so far creating a presence at the net as it's now 10-9 Fury.
Coach Kayla Banworth talked about the service game. It's been strong in the transition game, even stronger, getting a good start is Fury.
And that dots the line for the ace from Cox. Angel Perez told us in pregame they need to put some service pressure on the Vibe, and that was pinpoint precision. Cox drafted 3rd round, 18th overall. Almost had back-to-back aces. But an opportunity for the Fury to widen their set 1 lead. Lush can't go soft over the block. Monserrat to Lewis.
Ooh, nice.
What a scramble, but it just sails wide. And the Vibe get the side out.
A fantastic serving run by Cox on that service line. Jump topspin, created the scrambles. Nice job, Vibe. Transition out with Lewis in the middle. Got to get her going.
Merritt Beeson with an ace in the sweep over the thrill. Hence laying out. Libero of the year last season in the Pro Volleyball Federation. Not a lot gets by her. That clips the outside hand of the block for the point from Columbus.
You'll see that likely game between Cox and Lush on the outside. They're not trying to avoid the block. They're looking to use the hands. Watch Lush go up. Look for the hands high off the right hand of Monserrat.
Back out to a 2-point Fury lead. Cox runs underneath it. Fury recycle. The dig from the back by Edmond. Oh, and a block. Sent back by Katie Ramelsberg on the swing from Timmer.
Stringer with the block set up on the help. Nice job coming all the way. Look at the vision and block set up. There you go. Get you some. And the walk-off, bringing some energy to the court of Stringer.
And that forces a Vibe timeout. Fury were down 3 early, up 3 midway through our first set in Atlanta. The Fury have steadied themselves here in this first set, opening up a 3-point lead off a slide attack. More great defense this time by Stringer. I think that's been the most impressive part so far by the Fury. Smart shot by Timmer, though. Soft over the block. And the rookie makes it 13-11.
Timmer did an excellent job showing attack. Watch her wind up and then dropping his short right in front of Stringer. That was like perfectly placed, a foot behind the block.
Native of Germany, 4-time first-team All-Pac-12 with Washington State, though she sails the serve for an air.
Fury with a nice lead right now. It's starting with the service game. They're back rotationally with Stringer in the front row as the block. She's against Edmond in the front row. Look for Edmond to get some attacks.
Now, Angel Perez said, obviously, Atlanta's the team to beat tonight, and he's down a couple of starters because of illness, but he wants his team to play fast, play free, and so far I think they've checked both boxes, Keely.
I completely agree. Loose over there, nice job. Fury coming strong. Edmond showing her presence on this block, known as one of the best blockers in the Pro Volleyball Federation. This time Edmond got the nice read, shutting down this inside slide attack. Taking it basically solo, even though she did have the help.
Yeah, she can do it all. Led the PVF in points per set last year. And helping to slow that swing from the pin by Lewis. Monterey dishing it. And that line shot is just wide from Timmer. That's tough to really angle your body there and hit that right side. As it's now 15-13 in favor of the Fury as we've hit timeout. Opening night here at Gas South Arena for the returning regular season champion Vibe, and trailing Columbus by a score of 15-13. Just underway. See what Coach Banworth dials up for her team out of the timeout. Caleb Banworth, first season as head coach of the Vibe, inheriting a roster and includes Marley Monserrat, team setter last year, and the libero of the year, and Morgan Hens, the league MVP for that matter, and Leah Edmond. So a lot of keys for Angel Perez's team to oblige if they want to come into Gas South Arena and spring the upset. What do you have on the keys for both sides, Keely?
We know the Fury has a strong service game, but you have to efficiently get that service pass to stick it and run your speed sets through the seam. If Atlanta is able to get a block set up, they have a strong block and defense. For Atlanta, establish the middle attack, as you're seeing a lot with Corey Lewis already in this first set, and then dig out of system to accurate sets. The placement, using your back row attack, and then I'm loving Monterey even forcing her middle when she's going toward that 3-meter line. A lot of good things you're seeing on both sides, but you're right, Andy. I think Fury's playing a lot more relaxed so far in this first set.
Allowed them to overcome an early 5-2 deficit. Lush with the serve for the Fury. Angel Perez says, our team plays how she plays, and the fierceness of Megan Lush, something that a lot of these young talents on the Fury side can learn from. Edmond bumps it over, swatted down, but dug up by Hentz. Hentz can cover so much ground and make it look so smooth. The setter dump, well read. Did that clip hands? It did. Now there will be an immediate challenge buzzer, it appears, from Atlanta. Young Park, our up official. Pretty decisive in awarding that point to the Fury. Take another look.
You're going to swing and see the swing off the hands. There's no argument from the side of Atlanta and Monterey saying, yep, coach, I touched that ball.
Thought I heard the challenge buzzer, but no challenge required. Will be a side out for the Fury.
I think Fury's doing an excellent job with the service game and the ability to work the hands when they get the attack.
The back row attack, it is deep and it is down. Point Atlanta.
You see Merritt Beeson, the right side, swinging up the gut in this serve-receive pattern. Kissing that back line. You're going to see her producing some offense, almost averaging 4 kills so far a set for Atlanta.
Old 6 confirms the point for the #1 pick, Merritt Beeson. Caleb Banworth, who herself is a product of the University of Nebraska, like Merritt Beeson, already says she is the complete, total package. You're talking about a true 6-rotation opposite, something which is becoming something of an endangered species in the NCAA game as Edmonds pounds it down to put the Vibe within 1.
Again on the block in the net. Edmond always ready, send that to open court.
Trying to get Edmond going early. How successful do you think the Vibe have been so far? As that quick set through the middle, the swing. Aaron, and we're back tied at 16, but that was a point of emphasis. You know that Leah Edmonds going to command even more attention than she did last year. But so far, trying to get her more involved in this opening set. How do you think they are?
I think Edmonds still trying to find her offensive rhythm. Blocking, she relies on her defensive game, but everybody is going to camp on her, knowing where your former player of the year, MVP, is standing. Getting some offense and balance of the court so Edmond doesn't have to carry the major load.
Get the sweep over Las Vegas. She had 5 aces. 4 of them came in the first set. And just to put that in perspective, Leah Edmond Keeley had 12 aces all of last season. So you can add some acing to her repertoire for somebody who already took home league MVP honors. Might make Leah Edmond even scarier in her sophomore PVF season.
That's the beauty about being a professional. I remember looking at my own stats overseas and saying I want to work on these areas in my off season, and you train them. So Leah Edmond probably took that into consideration, looked at the areas of her game she wanted to improve, even being the MVP, but that's to prove every aspect of her game.
See her and the rest of the Vibe wearing their brand new black uniforms with the Atlanta graffiti script in front. You might see that inlay of the City of Atlanta street map and down the sides of the tops. A lot of different logos and emblems representing the City of Atlanta, its culture, its history. Really cool look for the Vibe.
I want to buy one like that. I love it. The graffiti look.
I mean, you could be signed by Caleb Banworth for all we know.
My right knee would say otherwise.
I was going to say your right knee says, let's slow things down. Edmond closing down on the block with Vicini. And the Vibe regain the lead.
Vicini coming all the way over, but it's so nice when Leah Edmond gets that strong set up. There you go, out of a timeout, coming in strong. This is where we know the Vibe can really put it in overdrive, finishing out a set.
Served by Monserrat. And in rhythm swing from the back. That is over by Monserrat. But that pipe shot falls. And once again, back tied.
Cerami sticking a beautiful pass as all started in system, using her back row attack. Stringer going right to Lewis. Good layout by Monterrey, just not enough.
Lewis has been swinging fiercely this opening set, taking over for Ray Potch. Hit 357. It's a hit for a good clip. Across 6 kills against the Mojo. The back set, Edmond takes a rip and gets it to fine hands.
Using the moving block, you see Cox, the left front blocker, coming all the way over. Edmond recognizing there was movement in the block, used the tool off to get the point.
And here is Edmond.
Ooh.
Boy, with some topspin, almost got another ace. A laser by Cox is long. Tried to hit that into hands. Vibe got him down, and the Vibe now stressed the lead to 2.
Impressive on the pickup on that strong serve, and you saw Cox again trying to work the hands, just missing that long.
Another serve for Edmond, but sprays it long.
Looking at this serve receive pattern, you have Fury back in a 3-hitter rotation. I love the new rule, adjusting to FIVB. You can start in your base defensive pattern on the block when your team is serving. So you see Lewis already on that right side, ready to block right in front of her.
Yeah, I do like that rule. Stringer with the float serve to Edmond. Beeson turned away. Timmer over the block, has that parried away. Stringer will dish it to Cox, and it's a point for the Vibe.
You almost want to do the relay to Cox, like, sure, you had inside set, but your line tool has been working for you. If you can get that ball, turn it a little more line off the block, there's more touch ability on that side.
Bianca Bertolino, the rookie from Georgia Tech, comes in as the serving specialist. Georgia Tech's all-time leader in career aces in the modern era. She can absolutely let him rip, but the Vibe unable to keep that rally going. Side-out Fury.
Bertolino with a strong serve, but Lush just handled it like no problem. You see the set, Stringers at the net, go in right to Walker.
Yeah, Lush handling it like somebody who is a USA national teamer and an Olympic alternate back in Tokyo. Pulls the Fury within 1 in this opening set. Very competitive opening set. And what a swing by Beeson. Beeson from the outside.
Ooh, I think you just made her a new t-shirt name. Nice job on that. You watch her at the set, low and inside. Instead of going line, she goes off the moving hand of the middle blocker, Walker, trying to make that close.
Here at Beeson, double-double in the season opener. Followed that up with the team-high 16 points against the Thrill. 21 serving 19. Not quite in rhythm on that middle attack. But the Fury will get another chance. Lewis can't find the seam. Aiko Jones also in for the first time in this opening set for Atlanta. And the point goes to the Fury.
I mean, so smooth. You got Lush going, okay, you have a moving block. I'm going to work smarter, not harder. Takes that ball, uses the moving blocker's hands to get the tool, which means you're using the block to get the ball to fall out of bounds.
Makes it 20 serving 21. The rookie from Illinois, Raina Terry, will step to the service line. 11th overall pick this past season. Following a decorated career with the Fighting Illini. Heavy Big Ten influence in this Fury roster, no surprise. 22-20.
It's pretty fun. You have 8 Midwestern players for Fury, 5 from Ohio, and then loaded, you got some ACC play with Lewis on that swing from Florida State. ACC, SEC, well represented with Vibe.
And big shoes for both Corey Lewis and McKenna Vicini to fill in the middle. We already talked about Shelly Fanning coming down with a right foot injury in the opener. As that one rattles down, packed down from the outside for the Fury point. But on top of that, the Vibe lose Magdalena Yelasheva, and those two combined were both top 5 in the Pro Volleyball Federation last year. And hitting percentage and blocks per set. And so players like Lewis and Vicini, young though they are, have to step up. No, not a swing that they wanted in that situation. Service error makes it 23-21 in favor of the Vibe.
You see Vibe has shifted to that 6-2 offense. You have Bauer and Aiko Jones in the front row. A little more blocking look, but that service game, that missed serve at clutch time, that serve is going to hurt a little bit.
Oh, but a service here right back from Lewis.
That helps.
Now, service errors were an issue for this Fury team on Sunday versus San Diego. Committed 13 of them, only 4 aces. It'll be Lush on the line. 10th-year pro from Penn State, one of those 5 Ohio natives out of Kettering. Dropping it short, Edmond with the layout. Aiko Jones has it blocked. Able to track it down, though, extend the rally. Stringer reversing it. Lewis blocked, point Vibe. Edmond once again to the rescue to bring set point to Atlanta.
You saw the service pattern try to take Edmond out, and Edmond hangs through the rally to finalize that strong block for Vibe.
You know, for somebody who was the outside hitter of the year in the Pro Volleyball Federation last season, this first set for Leah Edmond has been defined far more by her defense. Crowd on its feet. Columbus takes a timeout, 24-22 in favor of the Vibe.
Columbus passing really well in serve receive. Right now, 74% are in that setter game and that she can run an offense. For Atlanta, you're seeing the serve receive break down a little bit. The strong service game by Fury really coming in strong. You're going to need a good side-out pattern.
You're going to need to push points, and that was part of the message from Angel Perez, Fury's second-year head coach, former setter for the Puerto Rico national team. Welcomed in 12 new players in the offseason, 8 via free agency, 4 draft picks as well. So really, it almost feels like a second year one for Coach Perez. He said, we're a young team, we're building for the future, and the future is going to come as soon as the Fury choose to have it, right? With the development of some of those young players, those rookies, as they get acclimated to the speed of the professional game. So this Columbus team might be one you'd rather catch early than later in the regular season, because you have a sense as these young players grow up, this will be a completely different Fury squad. But right now, trying to stave off a couple of set points from the Vibe.
Ooh.
Oh, what a smoking shot, and the roof. Now, Cox will get the point, but she's pointing right to Lewis because she deserves the credit.
Lewis out of side-out pattern, coming in back row. Stringer knows where the heat is. Right there, good look, overpass, ready is Cox. You got Beeson still in your front row. A good matchup against Stringer as a blocker.
Ramelsburg serving. Monserrat, the jump set, Edmond cross court that's dug up by Lush. Here's Lewis down the line, misses wide, and the first set belongs to the Vibe. Well, a competitive opening set here at Gas South Arena. Bolt 6 confirms that shot long. Vibe had to work for that one, but they emerged victorious 25-23 in our opening set. Now they got pushed by the short-handed Fury squad, but 25-21, Atlanta up a set. Welcome you back to Gas South Arena opening night here for the Atlanta Vibe. Andy Demetra, Keela Evelyn, great to have you along. Watching on YouTube, Vibe claims set one 25-23, but that continues a bit of a theme because the Vibe and Fury split their 4 regular season matches. Only team that the Vibe lost to twice in the regular season was this Columbus side.
Fury so strong in their game, and I love the competitive spirit you're even seeing today, carrying it over from last year, even with 12 new players. Atlanta Vibe was sleeping a little bit, but I think toward the end woke up with 4 blocks today in that first set, really holding strong because Fury hit Atlanta 14 kills to Atlanta's 12.
We were joking with Angel Perez before the match. Do you have other coaches around the league blowing up your phone? Like, what's the secret to beating this Vibe team? You know, he acknowledges there's only so much that might carry over from the scouting report and the game plan from last season, given how much his roster has turned over. But he talked about the emphasis on service pressure, playing fast, especially through the middle. And even though his team wound up on the losing side of that first set, I think foundationally speaking, you saw a lot of positives from that Fury team. We'll see how that translates now to the remainder of the match.
They're coming out strong. Fury did a good job in the service game. Once Atlanta got their serve receive back, everything settled down. You saw Edmond coming strong with huge blocks to get momentum back. Atlanta defensively stronger in that first set. Offensively, first set totally went to Columbus.
Leah Edmond had 3 kills, 3 blocks in that first set. In that 5-set opening night loss to Omaha, Edmond was held in check. 11 kills, hit 065, did contribute double-digit digs. Started to turn things around with 13 kills against Las Vegas in the sweep on Sunday. But we saw enough matches last season where Leah Edmond simply took over.
And she's got that potential. Coach Kayla Banworth said, yes, we know Leah Edmond, we know what she can do. It's just getting back in the rhythm, getting in that flow. And it does take time as you settle in. Same thing happened last year, and then Leah Edmond, about a month into it, just hit a spurt, and it was lights out from there.
Teamed up with a new opposite in the #1 pick, Merritt Beeson. Tell you the Vibe, they were not sitting on their laurels or resting on their laurels when it came to the PVF draft, trading their #2 and #9 picks to Indy in exchange for that #1 pick, knowing they needed to replace one of the best opposites in the Pro Volleyball Federation last year in Ana Lasareva. But Beeson is a good place to start, given her accolades collegiately. Monserrat to serve and get set 2 started. What have you thought of the passing so far from this Fury side, particularly Stringer?
You know, I think the set delivery and the choice is so strong. This time, I think Vincini getting the read to get a 2 blockers up, caused the shot to go line, but Leah Edmond is a wall right now, shutting down any line shot coming her way.
Yeah, she's been the best defensive player for the Vibe so far. You know, any way you sliced it statistically last year, the Vibe were the class of the PVF in the regular season. We talked so much about how potent they were offensively and could just absolutely impose their will on teams last year. But you don't want to discount their defense either. They led the Pro Volleyball Federation last year in opponent spike ratio, digs per set. They led the PVF in blocks per set. But Beeson able to find that gap in the block. Offense still looks plenty healthy for the Vibe, and that's why they were picked preseason favorites in year 2 of the Pro Volleyball Federation. Monserrat with the up. Triple block for Beeson. Just throws it right in. Cox has that turn back. The pass from Hens to Edmond, but she gets it blocked.
Oh, coming all the way. Yes, number 30 on your screen. Go ahead and get you some on that block setup. Going strong. Watch the read. You got a triple on it. Morgan Lewis shutting it down the line.
Abby Walker was also beside her. A rookie from Cincinnati, whom Angel Perez said had an up-and-down first match, but a really fast middle, trying to make her presence felt in this second set. And she helps knot this at 2.
So strong. You walk it back. You get in the rhythm. That service game looking good. Atlanta, I thought the transition game for Atlanta's going strong, but you know if you're Fury, you got to give it your ace serve. In tennis, you have that first serve, second serve. You do have the same thing in volleyball. Against Vibe, Fury knows they have to go for their ace serve.
Now that ace serve from Cox hits into the net. Atlanta gets the point, 3 serving 2 here early in the second. Edmond takes something off that swing. Solo block through the middle by Vicini. Won an NCAA title as a Stanford Cardinal with her current Vibe teammate Morgan Hens, her first year in Atlanta, and she scores the defensive point.
Watching the game plan and getting the flow of the game, knowing the force of the middle's happening. Nice job.
That's just easy pickings by Timmer off the overpass.
That's how you point back. That's a friendly cushion of your statistic. Like, thank you for that awesome serve, Leah Edmond. I got myself a kill.
And the serving run continues for Edmond. Off the backside, it's Lewis, and she finds the seam.
How impressive has Lewis been stepping into the role today as the right side? We saw her get some action on the left previously, but coming in strong with high power, high swing over that block.
Snap that wrist. She's got a hammer. There's no question about it. Whistle blows from our up official Young Park and awards the point to Atlanta.
Not sure what happened on that, but you saw the R2 Prater down making the call. Little help.
So now 6-3. Vicini to serve.
Ooh.
And unable to handle that line shot. Side out Columbus.
Andy, one thing about being a professional is you have such control of your game. You saw Lewis recognizing the middle. Vicini's down the left side. Let me go ahead and test the middle blocker, making that dig.
Well, that's some elevation by Lewis going over the block of Vicini. Edmond had to lunge for it. That's covered well. And a campfire point for the Fury.
Lush, you just want to teach young players this type of game. She waited for Beeson to come slightly off the net, slowed up her arm just enough, take something off, caught the movement, blocker falling off, got an easy point down.
Now, Megan Lush, Keeley, was one of the best stories in the Pro Volleyball Federation last year. She was coming off a 2-year hiatus to start a family, somebody who was a member of the USA national team since 2016, an Olympic alternate, a native of Kettering, Ohio, so playing back in her home state professionally for the first time in her decade-long pro career. Angel Perez said in conversing with Megan Lush last year, she said, I probably got 1 season in me. Well, so much for that, because she's back for year 2, and she told Coach Perez in preseason, I might have another 3 years or so in me.
Lush, I'm telling you, you're not even hitting your peak yet. The way you're playing with this game, going down the line off of Monterey, deep shot, impressive.
Out of system ball here. Oh, what a pancake by Sarame. And the point from the Fury to tie it at 7. That draws a standing ovation from Keely Evelyn.
Yes, the layout. Sarame giving it all she's got right here, getting under. And then out of system swing. Go ahead, putting away. Down the line is where Cox is getting kills.
That was a great dime as well by Tori Stringer on a bit of an out-of-system ball. Fury have tightened up the defense, trying to take their first lead of the second set. Monserrat measuring it, thrown into the block by Timmer. Right back to Timmer. And the point to the Vibe. Boy, it was a rally that was built more on finesse than power and a lot of scrambling on each side of the tape. But the Vibe take the point. Lewis able to tap it down.
A lot of scramble. The net game was so strong. Using the net as a defender, keeping the ball alive. Lewis holding strong to finish it out.
6th overall pick this past season. Coming off a 10-point performance versus Las Vegas. Nearly an ace off the net. Monserrat. She could be ruthless with those setter dumps as we all saw last year. Off the slide, and the swing is wide.
I love volleyball, man. The ricochet, the quick reaction plays. You had Hentz laying out, quick left hand saved by Monterey, going wide on this swing, but it was that scramble transition move. Stayed alive was Atlanta.
Well, when you got Edmond and Lewis converging on that block, those angles become really narrow, really fast. Another block touch. Monterey trying for another set or dump, but that's turned back by Cox.
Great touch off the block. Monterey expected the ball to be not as tight. It was a perfect pass. Watch how she got stuck. Had to come back, couldn't get her hands up to make that set. Cox all over it.
Yeah, that would have been a really snug set for Monterey. Tried her luck with the set or dump, but Cox was all over it. 1.5 lead. Edmond takes a rip.
I think Edmond's trying to show her power early on. We know what Edmond can do. Now saying, I'm going to take my power going high into the hands. This is what makes her a professional player, figuring out the game throughout the match. Way to come up with a kill.
Just muscled that through for another Leah Edmond point. Joust at the net, but it's won by the Fury.
I played in Spain, and when I would get an overpass block like that, you saw Stringer make the turn because you know exactly where that pass is dying, so as setter you turn. My teammates would be like, fuerte, fuerte, so strong. Nice job, Stringer.
That's 5'11", Tori Stringer outdueling the 5'10", Leah Edmond. Teammates to begin last season in Atlanta. Beeson trying to hit long. Good layout from the back by Lush. Cox to the back line for the Fury point.
Ball going long, but Cox got the touch. That is what's saving her. And you see the adjustment. The touch happened at the blocker's hands, but the ball went long. But Cox is changing her shot. Remember how she kept missing it long cross court? You're getting kills down the line off the hands, going back to that same shot. Cox just reeking up the kills.
And that was something Kayla Banworth said her team had to be prepared for. Columbus does have some powerful hitters, even though they're shorthanded with the absence of Raypotch. So they're going to have to get some more points off hands. That didn't catch a hand, and a good thing because you might be going to the ER. Take another look in slow motion. It's still coming in hot from Leah Edmond.
There you go, the lean back set delivery. Monterey putting Edmond one-on-one. Helps when the middle gets up as well.
Cox can't penetrate the block, but the point still for the Fury.
I'm loving the fight from Fury coming back. This is where Cox shows that competitive spirit. She came in last match really strong. Seeing energy on the court is what Angel Perez loved to see, with Cox showing some good points.
Cox up to a team-high 8 points and tied at 11. Last year, Columbus, they were third in the Pro Volleyball Federation in kill percentage. Of course, Reagan Cooper was maybe the sleeper of the draft last year, finished third in the PVF in kills per set. She's gone on to Omaha. There's a lot of offense that Angel Perez has to reload, but a lot of young, intriguing pieces. Here's the veteran, Megan Lush, doing what she's done for a decade, getting the kill.
It's a little like accordion game. Cox was working so much line. Lush comes in off of first swing, goes hard cross court, hoping the defense would still be shifted on that cross court look.
The lead back to the Fury. Fury in both sets so far. Spotted the vibe a few points early, but found their bearings and have regained the lead. Monterey, give and go. Edmond blocked. Up high at the summit, it's Morgan Lewis.
Lewis getting the power shot read down. Edmond went high, maybe she got the touch, but going down, nice job, Lewis holding strong with great hand discipline.
Member of the Mojo last year, and making her mark on the Fury. That time got the block touch. Dumped over. Oh, but a great pancake. Defense by the Vibe, and that challenge buzzer has been initiated by Angel Perez mid-play, and so they'll take a review. He wasn't convinced that pancake dig was clean.
The key with Stringer on this is the deception. It's a pop-up. The beauty of this pop over on the setter dump was the deception pop. Stringer did an excellent job just not showing a lot of motion. The defense had a second move on it, not making that strong first move.
So the review initiated here to decide whether there was a floor touch. Tori Stringer, you knew if nothing else, she would come in motivated and played one of her better matches of last season against her former club in the Vibe. 51 assists, 10 digs in a Columbus win. And there was, in fact, a floor touch in front of the pancake from Monterey, so that should be a Columbus point.
If any part of the ball touches the ground, there you go. Reverse back to Columbus, but if the ball and hand touches the ground, any part of the ball touches the ground is considered down.
So that now makes it 14-11 in favor of the Fury in set 2.
The only good news for Atlanta right now, they're back in the three-hitter pattern with Beeson in the front row.
Popped across, off the block touch, kept up by the Fury. They'll go off speed. A sprawling dig by Hentz. Lewis stuffed, but it lands wide. Had that smothered, but just couldn't catch the line. And all of a sudden, the Fury, first to 15. And they've opened up a 4-point lead on the road in set 2 versus the Vibe. Now the look at the rip from the second-year pro Morgan Lewis, helping the Fury to a 4-point lead. Back with you from Gas South Arena, middle of our second set. Vibe up 1-0, but it's the Fury holding the 15-11 set 2 advantage. Morgan Lewis, the 6'3 opposite from Oregon, Carlsbad, California, having to step up with Isabella Raypatch sick, but she's done more than just step up. She has been a force at the net, Keeley.
Offensively, she's putting up 6 kills, but it's her blocking game. 3 blocks, and the block touches slowing down the outside attack is what's causing this transition game, and Fury able to push points. That defensive effort, nice job, Morgan Lewis, holding her own on that right side block.
It was a back and forth first set. Vibe took it 25-23, but what has the Fury executed at a higher level to account for this second set lead?
You're right here. You're seeing it. You see Vibe breaking down a little bit in the serve receive, a transition ball going, and Fury going nice and fast. You're seeing middle attack going no further. Walker getting the ball. Stringer trying to force the tempo.
All smiles on the side of the Fury. That was snapped down by the rookie from Cincinnati and Cambridge, Ohio, Abby Walker. 16-11. And once again, transition ball for the Fury, and they get that point. Kayla Banworth wanted a violation of some sort against the Fury. I don't think she'll get her wish granted. But now it's 17-11.
Technically, Marley Monterey is a back row setter. She took the ball with one hand in the air, and her hand was over the net, so that could have been called as a back row violation by the setter.
Yeah. Boy, not a good first contact again on this service run. Fury can really stress things out as Lewis goes cross court, and the deep cross lands. What a turnaround by Columbus in this second set.
You have Tori Stringer running a great offense. First, she tried to get the middle going, got it with Walker. Now you're giving it back to Lewis. It creates that movement game, making the blockers guess.
Already 22 assists for Stringer. And a shank off the serve received by Edmond. That is highly uncharacteristic. Right now, it's the Fury on the run. 19-11 and a timeout for Atlanta. Well, this has been a 180 for the Fury in set number 2 of doing what so few teams have been able to do on the Vibes home court. Kaylee Cox turns around. You'll see she did more than her share of cupping therapy to get that right shoulder limber, and she has been airing it out at the service line. It's a 9-0 Fury run. Once down 11-10, now up 19-11 on the homestanding Vibe in the second set, Keely.
Cox has 14 attempts on this service line. The next teammate has 9 on the service game, creating those type of runs.
Not much of an angle for Edmond. Off the joust, Fury able to reload. Lewis changing the angle. Pushed across the Lush. Monterey runs underneath it. Thrown down the line by Beeson. Unsuccessful there. Vibe desperately needing a side out. Almost got one there from Beeson. Instead it's Cox. The dig by Hentz.
Wow.
Make it 10-0.
Tori Stringer's a middle offense, which means she's got the feel, the flow of it, coming out about 5 feet up, still forcing her middle back right to Walker.
Walker found that gap between the block, 20-11 Fury. And it takes a service error to finally break that run. But what a run it was from Kaylee Cox and the rest of this Fury team.
Kaylee Cox, how impressive was that? You don't get those type of runs with professionals representing. Nice job on that.
And Leah Edmond always a threat to go on a service run. Swing misses wide. Remember, it was Edmond who was at the service line in set 1 on Sunday that triggered an 8-0 Atlanta run and wrapped their sweep over Las Vegas. And she misses the back. Service error, 21-13 Columbus.
With a lead like this for Fury, you're in a side-out game. So as long as you just hold strong, side out within 1 or 2, you're just creeping toward the set.
Good first contact by Hentz off the reversal, and it's Beeson catching the outside edge of the block. Oh, up official says no. This might be challenged by Atlanta. And we will have a challenge.
You saw Lush come. You saw Lush come out right off the block and shaking her hands like I didn't touch it. Beeson looked right at her coach and said, I think she got the touch.
Take another look.
Yeah, totally touch.
Definitely you see Lush's pinky ripple there. So it is a block touch, and it is an Atlanta point. And another kill for Merritt Beeson.
But Lush, a 10-year pro, is playing back in my days going like, there's no video surveillance. I got to use good body language.
Yeah.
I didn't touch that.
Good body language and better salesmanship.
There you go.
Bolt 6 and just cameras in general
We all
have
tried to
aided
get away
and
with it.
abetted the accuracy of so many volleyball matches. And we're all the better for it, Keely. Probably cost you untold number of points in your collegiate and professional career.
Yeah, I could have gone to college for acting the way I put it down when competing in the games. Nice job getting that side out. Is Fury coming only 3 points away from the set.
Yeah, pre-replay, there were a lot of unofficial theater minors
yes.
in college volleyball, professional volleyball for that matter. It'll be Beeson striding to the service line. Was teammates with Marley Monserrat at Florida. Spent the last 2 years at Nebraska for Coach Cook, who once upon a time coached Vibe head coach Kayla Banworth. The bump set from the back to Lush. Vibe just have not been in sync offensively this entire set as that dump hits the tape and back for the Vibe point.
If you're Atlanta, you may not get this set, but your key is to keep learning the chess match of it all. How can you get offense? How can you come back? It started with good passing.
Lewis on the deep cross. Good job by Beeson to throw herself in front of it. Lush tries to turn her shoulders, but she misses down the line.
Lush had the right idea. Look how she only missed it by 6 inches. Changing up the side spin of that ball, trying to drop it. Good timeout taken as Vibe is trying to come back in this set.
Yeah, it's a 4-0 Vibe spurt to pull within 5. Timeout Angel Perez and the Fury with Columbus on top 22-17.
Vibe pretty impressive on that comeback. So you thinking throughout this match, you just have to slow down the service game from Cox. For Fury, if you're Atlanta, that's where the runs are creating. So number 8 on your screen, that's where the service game has been so strong.
Cox, one of the rookies on this Fury team. And Angel Perez says she could be, when it's all said and done, the biggest sleeper in the draft. She began her career at Missouri and then joined the powerhouse Western Kentucky program. But Western Kentucky, as dominant as they've been in Conference USA, still sometimes have the stigma, Keely, of being a mid-major program, which we've both seen Western Kentucky in person. That could not be any farther from the truth, but at the same time, it may cause some professional clubs to be a little more off the scent of a player like Kaylee Cox, who had 10 kills and a .212 hitting percentage in the opener versus San Diego, and it was her service run that stretched out this second set lead for Columbus.
Such a competitor. You're seeing her continually talk to her teammates, locked in, just a strong energy player on the court.
Ramped up her Hilltopper career as an honorable mention All-American in December and shanks the serve receive to pull the Vibe within 4. Starting to get a little more interesting now at Gas South Arena.
That's exactly the person I would go for as well. You got Cox, and next to her, Sarame and Lush. Of course you're going to try to serve Cox.
Going to Cox again, handles that much better. The quick set, but the block. Corey Lewis standing tall.
Your next opportunity, you get a ball, Stringer's in the front row, get a good read. That's a great read setup and help by Monserrat coming over from the right side.
Corey Lewis is a high flyer. She can touch nearly 11 feet, pulls the Vibe to within 3. Lewis takes something off on the swing. Pancake dig Monserrat, but it's blocked down for the point, and it was Tori Stringer doing more than just setting to help stabilize this late second set for the Fury.
Timmer, the outside hitter for Vibe, got trapped behind that block, just testing power, but the discipline was there from both blockers.
Stops the Vibe run, 23-17, and Lush back to serve.
Ooh.
Oh, and another block. Fury shutting down the doors and throwing away the key. It's the rookie Raina Terry to push set point.
This was a blocking sub in for Stringer. Terry honing her own 6-4, putting it down.
She left her mark at Illinois more so on offense, was third in the nation in attacks per set as a senior in 2023, was top 10 nationally in kills per set. But 6'4", she can scrape the ceiling as well defensively. And it's now 24-19 with Atlanta calling timeout.
We saw Terry start getting the start on the outside. Now Cox is playing a little better, getting her flow in the professional league, stepping in as a blocking sub. Nice job just owning your role today.
Again, if there was a common denominator in the Fury's regular season wins last year versus Atlanta, it was their job at the net. They had double-digit blocks in each of those wins. And following Angel Perez's game plan, and 1 point away from tying this match up.
Pretty impressive when you have two starters down because of a sickness, like coming back strong, staying together. That's the type of culture you want to develop if you're Coach Angel Perez for the future. Recruiting 5 Ohio players and then adding 2 more Midwest players, local talent, trying to create that type of vibe, staying together and just loving where you are.
Creating a vibe, you say that somewhat ironically in the case of Columbus. Lewis trying to swat that deep. Be up by Sarame. Cox, the kill and the set 2 victory. Well, only fitting Kaylee Cox gets the final point off the block touch. It was her service run that flipped that second set in favor of the Fury. And as we head to intermission at Gas South Arena, all level at a set apiece between Columbus and Atlanta. All smiles for Kaylee Cox, and with good reason. A 10-0 run midway through that second set to put the Fury in command in 1 set apiece here in Atlanta. Bob and Fury tied at 1 set apiece here on opening night at Gas South Arena for the regular season champion Atlanta Vibe. 25-23 in the first set, but Vibe able to turn things around in the second. Andy Demetri, Keela Evelyn, great to be back. And boy, How great is it just to be back again for year 2 of the Pro Volleyball Federation, huh?
Oh, I'm loving it. Elite volleyball, you have it in the house. The passing, the dominance, and strong blocks. Just when you think the power shot's going through, some disciplined block with strong hands.
Yeah, great to see not only the action and the talent tonight, but to see how the league continues to grow in year number 2. Now, when you return the league MVP and the league libero of the year and your returning setter, pretty fair bet that you'll be the preseason favorites for the next season, and that is the case with the Atlanta Vibe, who of course lost in the Final Four to Grand Rapids last year, a hair ahead of Orlando and Omaha as the preseason favorites in the Pro Volleyball Federation. Columbus, I'll tell you what, they are not playing like a preseason 8th place team through 2 sets, though.
This is what you love about professionals. Any given night, somebody can step up. You're seeing Cox today showing strong with impressive play.
I love somebody who was bold enough to give the new team, Indy, a first-place vote as well. They had a packed house in Fishers, Indiana, for their inaugural Pro Volleyball Federation home match. So Leah Edmond was preseason All-Pro Volleyball Federation last year, and all the prognosticators looked really smart because she won league MVP. Same with Morgan Hens. She won Libero of the Year. So no surprise to see a couple of those returning Vibe players represented on the preseason All-League list. Former Fury and Reagan Cooper along with Brooke Nunaviller representing Omaha. How about Brittany Abercrombie? Kaz Brown, maybe the best middle blocker in the league last year for the Valkyries, and I know you really like Stone from the Mojo.
Oh, you put that team together. Imagine like our national team and then playing against this type of starting lineup is just so strong overall and good balance across the board of different teams represented. But yeah, you're seeing Fury not getting a player on this list, but they're splitting with Atlanta right now, 1 set apiece.
And that set they lost was very competitive in the opening set. So certainly some adjustments underway in the locker rooms here at Gas South Arena for both Angel Perez, Kayla Banworth. If you're Kayla Banworth, what are you telling her team? Because that second set got away from them.
You have to side out. You have to get that pass. So the passing broke down the minute Cox went to serve with that jump, top spin, strong serve. You have to step up, and then you see Vibe trying to push tempo when the pass isn't quite there. You know, rely on going off the hands that you're seeing a lot with Fury. Trust your game, settling in, relying on that block and transition play, but it does start with that pass.
Yeah, it still doesn't feel, even though we're tied to the set of piece, like the Vibe have settled down and relaxed and playing in rhythm, but certainly have a couple more sets they're trying to get and move to 2-1 on the year. They'll be back here at Gas South Arena this weekend as we take a look at the remaining weekend action in the Pro Volleyball Federation. A matchup against Grand Rapids, a rematch of that semifinal contest in Omaha last May. You can catch that on FS1. Fury will be back home as they welcome in Indy. And also this weekend, Omaha traveling to Las Vegas, the Mojo on Sunday taking on the Supernovas, and then Orlando heads to the Thrill. Thrill team that was no match for the Vibe on Sunday at Lee's Family Forum. They're certainly hoping for a better account of themselves with a pair of home matches this upcoming weekend. Anywhere you go, you will find some great Pro Volleyball Federation action, and you're getting some here tonight at Gas South Arena. Fury and Vibe tied at 1 set apiece. We'll be back after this. One set apiece between the Fury and the Vibe. Andy Demetric, Keely Evelyn, great to be back with you for another season in the Pro Volleyball Federation at Gas South Arena. A new look Atlanta team, maybe not as new looking as their opponent tonight, Columbus, still trying to feel their way out and find their identity this early season. They captured set one by a score of 25-23, but it was that 10-0 Fury run midway through the second that set the pace, and the Fury claimed set two 25-19. As we take a look at some of our highlights so far, this has been a scrappy effort so far by the visiting Fury.
Yeah, coming in strong. Leah Edmond held well on the block in that first set, but it was the Fury's block showing up. 3 blocks you saw by Lewis in that second set. Out of the back row, trying to work the hands is Beeson, but the Fury's defense was just too much. Edmond trying to get it going. Lewis holding it strong down the line, and then offensively jacking up the points. Great job. Fury coming through that second set with dominance.
Edmond leads the way with 9 points, but just 5 kills. 4 of her points have come via the block for Columbus. Getting contributions with a couple of Angel Perez' starters felled by illness, and Ray Potch and their setter Wilma Rivera. Let's talk about the job Tori Stringer has done. She's dished out 25 assists already, double-digit digs, 10 points from Kaylee Cox with 7 kills, a block, and a couple of aces, and 12 points to lead the way from the opposite. Morgan Lewis took over for Ray Potch in the starting lineup. Served by Stringer, and we're underway. And just not a lot of in-system swings from this Vibe team so far. They get the point off of that in Edmond, but that's something they certainly need to clean up because it hasn't been as sharp a performance in that area so far.
You see the serving pattern. Go at Edmond, and Edmond took that serve receive, didn't like that pass that she got, but finished it off with the roll shot.
Reached over the block and down. Kaylee Cox, one more.
You know, is there an MIP most impressive player so far in the match? You got it, Cox. I'm loving your game right now, just mixing up shots. This one, dropping it.
You know, with the performance like this, she will be rising in the scouting reports of a lot of teams. She overcooks that serve, though. Cox, from an athletic family, you might remember her older sister, Lauren. Decorated basketball player at Baylor, won a national championship for the Bears.
Did you see how excited Atlanta got after that missed serve? Yeah. Like, hey, we got a quick side out off of Cox's serve.
Probably a sigh of relief would have been more appropriate because it was Cox who kickstarted that 10-0 run in the second set. So anytime her first swing, it results in a service error, but the service error right back gives it to Columbus. Monterey feeding across to Beeson, who pounds it down.
There's an advantage. Beeson just came off an incredible college game at Nebraska and coming full force, feeling her game, taking the swing on the outside, going deep to that corner.
Finished her college career at Nebraska, began at Florida, native of Gardendale, Alabama, about 3 hours outside of Atlanta. I would say well within driving distance for the Merritt Beeson fan club.
Yes.
And the ace, it's put down by the Vibe. And Leah Edmond, she had 5 of those on Sunday in the sweep, and not as her first of the night.
One thing that's special about Edmond, if her offensive game's not going, she's got so many different tools. This one on the service ace.
Trying to hammer that across, but misses long. So 1 ace, 1 error on the serve by Edmond. It's just remarkable. Edmond, we knew that she would be improved in the service game, but we didn't think it would happen so suddenly. She already is more than halfway to her season total in aces this year. Vibe up 4-3. Served by Lewis. Monterey. And the point by Beeson. Goes off speed to get it over the block.
You saw Edmond do it in the highlights between sets 2 and 3. This is a one Beeson knew, hey, we can drop it short, make Stringer, the setter, come all the way over instead of waiting back to actually set the ball. Ooh. A lot more missed serves in the third set. Usually you see them more often in the first set. That's been 3.
Well, it was a service error festival in that opening set on Sunday between the Vibe and the Thrill. That one's over clean. And that one sprayed wide by Lewis. Couldn't quite get in sync off the pass from Monserrat.
The right idea, though, and you see Monterey looking over at Beeson like, hey, now's the time. I need to set you a ball.
See if they go to Beeson. There it is. Beeson has it smothered, but she packs it through the block.
That's that quick eye communication you have between a setter and a hitter saying, hey, ball's coming. Be ready. And Beeson's like, I'm here for it, taking it through the moving blocker.
Oh, a little off speed off the inside edge of the block. It falls for Lewis. Not the most powerful swing we've seen from Morgan Lewis tonight, but it was effective.
If you catch the blocker falling, that's the key.
Yep.
You cannot hold your penetration because you'll get a net violation. Nice job on the changeup by Lewis, dropping it on Timmer.
Yeah, kind of outfoxing her fellow rival in the Pac-12, Pia Timmer. Now, Pia Timmer, the rookie from Washington State, she was teammates with Magda Yelasheva, middle blocker last year for the Vibe. They were part of the same recruiting class. I would say that's a pretty successful recruiting class when you get Timmer and Yelasheva. You spend some time as a college assistant coach. You have a couple of hits like that.
It's all about the pipeline, Andy.
Yep.
You create it, you want to keep it.
Yeah, but you can land a couple of international players like that in the same class. Makes you feel pretty good about your recruiting acumen.
Oh, yeah. You recruit a starter. As a freshman, you can just breathe easy. But that recruitment game never ends. Western Kentucky picked up a good one. You saw with Cox on that swing. That's a competitor you got to come your way.
And here is a former 2-time ACC Setter of the Year at Louisville in Tori Stringer. Well, what a run by her former program. Getting to the Final Four when there was so much pressure on them with the Final Four being held at the Yum Center, home of the Cardinals. Couldn't overcome Penn State. They were just the team of destiny and ultimately won that national title. But I know Tori Stringer had to have a lot of pride in her program. Lush kept that up, but unable to be flagged down from deep. And the point to the Vibe.
I like that swing by Lewis. Taking something off, just snap it at high line. Only one defender sits there, so if you can beat that nice inside by Sarame, you got it to drop.
Yeah, that was a quick wrist by Lewis. It's 7:27 against Las Vegas on Sunday. Yeah. 7:27 is good for a veteran, let alone somebody playing her second professional match. And as the former Florida State Seminole, native of Tallahassee, Florida, Corey Lewis, able to get the dig right to Monserrat. She sticks the pass. Beeson has that turn back. From the back, is it tooled for the point? It is. Just missed the line.
When you have no player covering in that area, you're just holding on tight, holding your breath like, please go out off the hands of Vincini.
Yeah, just the redirect by Vicini. Trying to manifest that ball to touch a line. Instead, we're tied at 8. Overpass leads to an opportunity for the Fury. Oh, what an up. Couple of layouts to keep the rally going. Lewis. Line was covered by Hentz. A big swing from the back. Timmer unable to get that down. And the point to the Vibe.
Andy, let's just take a moment and just appreciate that dig by Morgan Hentz. Lewis ripped it down the line. Morgan Hentz just sat there like, hey, I can do this in my sleep.
That was a force of will point by the Vibe. And Morgan Hentz, yeah, welcome to Hentzville.
Yeah, that's what another shirt name. Let's go.
If anybody deserves to trademark it, it's her. She tries to slide underneath that, but can't get the up. And the point goes to the Fury.
Stringer with the deception. Watch how it just pops. She doesn't use a lot of arm motion. Just a quick release off her hands. Very deceptive.
First ever Louisville player to earn first team AVCA All-American honor. She did that back in 2021. Began last season with the Vibe, now with the Fury. Quick set and hammer down. McKenna Vicini off the assist from Monserrat.
Vincini's been quiet throughout the match. Monserrat knows she got to get the middle going. That's a strong attack. I'm thinking we're not going to see the end of that throughout this match.
Yeah, might plant a seed there in the Vibe. And they'll get the ace to stretch the lead to 11-9. Vicini getting back to her, the native of Lexington, Kentucky, former teammate. As she was coming in, Morgan Hentz was coming out. They combined on a national title for Stanford. But Vicini had a double-double in that five-setter versus Omaha on opening night. So she certainly is capable of being productive. Off the backside, it's Lewis. Line was covered by Edmond. Off the redirect. Tapped over, but bumped up by Monserrat. Over the triple block, and the point by Timmer. She found the angle somehow, some way.
When the left front comes all the way over to the help, you know you can work that side of the court. Watch a changeup off the block, just trying to test the right side of the court. Nice job, Timmer.
Very decisive swing by the rookie. And the Vibe lead by 3. Edmond back to serve. That's tamed by Cox. Now Lewis crushing it, but missing deep. It looks like he was trying to swing for contact.
Definitely trying to go off the hands, because why are you going to hit line when Morgan Hentz just dug a power shot by you, working off the hands, changing it up.
Yeah, she makes players second guess their swing. It forces a Columbus timeout. Vibe up 13-9 in set 3. Caleb Anworth's Atlanta Vibe claiming a 13-9 set 3 lead. The former bronze medalist for Team USA in Rio. Successful 2-year stint as head coach of Ole Miss. And I did not realize until we talked with Coach earlier today, she was sent to join the Pro Volleyball Federation last year, but not as a coach. She was ready to come out of retirement as a player, Keely.
Yes. She said, I was trying to train, but it hurt too much. Sign me up to coach.
Yeah, she was close to joining Coach Fran in Las Vegas. After a long hiatus, Evelyn raised her 4-year-old son, Maverick, as the run continues for the Vibe and Timmer. And we were joking with Coach Banworth. There is such a thing as a player coach. So, if, you get that itch, I'm sure you have it within your authority as head coach of the Vibe to suit up.
Wouldn't that be great, like Superman? Like, just strip mid-match, sub yourself in, and be like, I can finish this out. Let me pass. Banworth, when she played, could serve, receive over half the court. Had such reading, and you see that defensive passing game she's very attention to detail on, even with Vibe.
The service error ends the Vibe run, 10-14. Lewis puts it in. The bump set by Monserrat to Timmer for the point. What a pass. Popped over, cross court on the bump set. Catches the line from Timmer. And a side out for the Vibe.
Stringer's been doing a really good job for Fury, holding her line down the line on the block. Had to change it up.
And with that, Vibe first to 15 in set 3. Vibe the 15-10 set 3 lead over the Fury as you take a look at middle blocker Shelly Fanning in the walking boot after suffering a right foot injury in the opener versus Omaha. Second year with the Vibe, and she spent her offseason just down the road from Gas South Arena as an assistant coach for Georgia Tech, which means one of the players that she coached as a development assistant was her now teammate in rookie Bianca Bertolino.
You love that connection right there. Shelly Fanning is pure joy on the court, and Bianca Bertolino, the Argentine libero, and then turn outside hitter for their national team. So much experience coming into play.
Out of the timeout, it is Beeson with the block, and another point for the Vibe. Beeson really flexing her muscle in this third set, Keely.
Vibe feeling confident. They got their service game back and the serve-receive game. Beeson holding her own on that block as well.
And Lewis had to swing on that on the way down into the net. And it's a 7-point Vibe lead, their largest lead of the match. This is looking like that Vibe team that we saw on Sunday.
You know, it might be the right side of the court just flipping right now. Coming strong, Vibe getting in the rhythm. There you go.
Yeah, Lewis just takes a rip.
You see Fury, it's off the hands line is where they're getting a lot of kills. It's not trying to cut around the block, hitting cross-court shots, but that bounce off the line of the blocker's hands, both on the left side and right side, really working for Fury.
Gives Lewis a 10th kill. Lewis trying to chop that over the block of Ramelsburg. Now Cox steps into it, blocked again, but that one does trickle through.
You saw Beeson coming a little bit off the net. Cox again trying to work right at the right side blocker. Catch a little movement. You saw the open up with the hip. That caused the ball to drop.
Yeah, hip got open, moving block as well. Haley Cox gets the point. Can't smother that though. Elevate and detonate Merritt Beeson.
And that, my friends, is a competitor. You didn't like that you just got tooled on that block, and then you come back with the power swing inside strong angle shot is Beeson.
Yeah, that was a sharp angle cut inside the block, and now it's Beeson on the service line. Oh, what a strike from the 3-meter line. Lewis, one more.
Lewis showing her elevation and precision around that block, recognizing two blockers were around. Nice, strong, deep shot.
Lewis leads the Fury, 15 points. Second year in the Pro Volleyball Federation, spent last year in San Diego. One of the 8 free agent acquisitions for Angel Perez and the Fury this offseason. Got a couple of good ones from the Valkyries as well. Wilma Rivera, who's out sick tonight. Also Jill Gillen. Now, she is a high riser, but at 5'7", maybe not an ideal matchup. Going opposite the 6'4" Merritt Beeson, who's really starting to get dialed in now as she pushes the Vibe lead to 20-13.
We saw this throughout her entire Nebraska career and at Florida. When she wants to take over the match, Beeson has that capability, asking for the ball, putting up some offense.
Yeah, she can be a sledgehammer from that opposite. Big shoes to fill, but you understand why the Vibe were willing to sacrifice a couple of draft picks to move up to the top spot in the draft and select Beeson, because Anna Lasareva was so good. The veteran from Russia last year, she was second in the league in kills and third in kill percentage. And so they knew that if they wanted to keep that same prolific offense, they needed somebody who could be a day one contributor, even as a rookie. And that's why the Vibe were as aggressive as they were on draft night to be able to trade for Beeson.
To be successful in professional volleyball, because you run a 5-1, a one-setter offense, the right side is so key because you constantly use that hitter, as we see Beeson taking the swing out of the back row as another attacking option always. Being ready out of the back row when setter Monterey is in the front row, Beeson is here for it.
Yeah, she lowered the boom there from the back. He is carrying the load for the Vibe in this third set, 4 points away from going up 2-1. And it's Beeson with the cover. Thrown across by Edmond. Look for the block, and she gets it.
If the ball is tight and Edmond is anywhere close on the block, she's coming over with the clamp. Look at the vision and right down on it, holding her own. Vincini with the close, but Edmond all over that.
Another block for Leah Edmond, and forcing a Columbus timeout late in set number 3. And the Vibe have it back rolling. And that is not a play on words because Shelly Fanning has the scooter for her foot. that was completely unintended, Keely. But I tell you what, between Vicini and Corey Lewis, obviously Shelly Fanning wants to be back on the court as soon as she possibly can, but as we're seeing now through these last couple of matches for Caleb Banworth, there's not a big drop-off going from Fanning to the combination of Vicini and Lewis. So they are well stocked at middle blocker once again.
You know, we saw Lewis come in that first match, but really putting up 9 kills against Vegas was key just to get the rhythm with your setter. Vincini coming in strong as well with that last swing that you saw. It was a push set. Monterrey finding her, but it takes time because setting your middles, it's a speed game. So you got to feel your middle, get the rhythm, and that takes time and practice as you continually develop it.
Look, we're still just a couple of matches into the season. Second match for Columbus, third for the Vibe. And every team around the league, they're still trying to mesh, and the coaches are still trying to find the lineup combinations that will unlock the best versions of their teams. So now these early season matches are still very much a feeling out process. You never know who may evolve, who may emerge as we work towards May. As the side out comes from Cox, continuing her fine night.
Well, Cox is definitely emerging. You have 26 swings, 12 of those kills on the outside. Nice.
Now, if you're looking to push points from the service line, you could do worse than Cox. Edmond swings over the block. Now it's Lewis with a thump. That's kept up by Hentz. Pinpoint as well. Beeson with the deep cross. It caught hands. And a point for the Vibe.
Morgan Hentz. Is there anything more impressive? Off a power swing, just an easy-looking dig. Morgan Hentz took that, put it on a dime for Monterrey, going to the back row. Beeson off the block, off the hands.
It's not just that she got the dig, but as the replay showed, she couldn't have stuck that any better to Monterrey.
Like, come on. That's impressive.
Now Morgan Hentz following the conclusion of last regular season, spent a couple of weeks in Anaheim. Training camp for Team USA, ultimately didn't make the final roster for Paris, but she is back for the Vibe, and that could be bad news for the rest of the Pro Volleyball Federation. Now 23-16, Fury to serve.
Lush just making it look easy, using her finesse off the block.
And the deep cross, Beeson, this time from the left side.
So impressive. You saw Beeson take that last swing out of the back row, going off the defender with Stringer in the right back. This one, a low flat ball delivery. Beeson getting the block vision, going around.
There's not a set that she can't handle as Edmond ranges underneath it, pushed across by Monserrat. Stringer dishing it to Lewis. They have had quite a chemistry so far. Fury still trying to keep breathing here in the third.
If you're Angel Perez, you got to look at this like there's some good things we're seeing with Lewis stepping in on the right side.
And again, and she's only starting because Rainpotch is out sick. Isabella Rainpotch, the 8th-year pro from Temple, played internationally in Germany and Poland and China this past season. Brings a lot of veteran experience, and one of the reasons why the Fury wanted to acquire her so that she could be that kind of mentor for the likes of Lewis. But at least for tonight, Lewis having to grow up quick, but that block extends set 3.
Lush getting the read all the way over in this blocking pattern. You see Lush going right in front of Terry. Timmer dancing today.
Eben with the shank pass. Got the dig, though. Monserrat to Timmer. And now Hentz sprawling out once again. Beeson can't put it away. On the block, though, she went along with Vicini. So the block by Vicini and the Vibe run away from the Fury in the third set. One more look at the final point of a 25-18 set 3 win for the Vibe. Well, that looked more like the vibe of last season and the vibe of Sunday. Still one more set to get here at Gas South Arena. It's the home debut for the Vibes. Merritt Beeson and Keely Evelyn. She put on a show in that third.
Beeson, 14 kills, hitting 500 kill percentage, going in strong. So over 50% exactly of her swings are going down for kills. Really coming in strong. She doesn't want to go longer. She doesn't want to push Fury to 5 sets. That's a take over the set type of vibe you see Beeson running with that third set.
Now she was swinging with a Fury against the Fury. And the #1 pick in the Pro Volleyball Federation draft pushes the Vibe ahead 2-1, 25-18 in the third. Looks like the passing was a lot crisper. First ball contact was much better for the Vibe. And no matter what level you're at or how elite you are, it's all about a serve and pass game. And serve and pass certainly in favor of the Vibe in that third.
Yeah, completely. So Vibe obviously going stronger, getting out of those rotations, shut down the Cox serve receive patterns when Cox went back to serve. For Fury, you're in this. You just have to come back to that first ball contact, which is so key. It's volleyball 101, but whoever can do it at any level usually pulls off the match.
I'll try to force a 5th set on the Fury. Again, Columbus. They're the only team that dealt 2 losses to Atlanta in the regular season last year. It was a roller coaster, and that is putting it mildly for this Fury club in its inaugural season. So Keely, they started 4-2. Then they lost 9 of 10. Then they won 3 straight to push themselves to the edge of playoff contention again. But then a loss here at Gas South Arena started 5 straight losses to end the season. They finished 8-16 out of the playoff hunt. But boy, you needed some Dramamine to follow all the ebbs and flows of the Fury last season.
Coach Angel Perez has such a positive feel of his team, saying we needed to rebuild. 12 new players coming in, 8 from the Midwest. We wanted players that wanted to be here, staying together, and you're seeing a much better, stronger unity with Fury today.
As we said, they have been scrappy so far. The roof and down. Lewis off the overpass.
Nice change up on that by Lewis. Watch Morgan Hens get the layout. Cox taking that good swing. Morgan Hens covering court, just sending it over. Lewis is ready for it.
Yeah, Lewis knows how to use her hands, the former Oregon Duck. Did you know, Keely, she's also fluent in American Sign Language?
Oh, get it.
How cool is that?
I only learned the alphabet because I didn't want to read when I was in 5th grade, so I'd grab the sign language book. Yeah, we had to do like 30 minutes of reading, and I was just like, I'd rather learn sign language, something that I would be beneficial.
How about that?
So I grabbed it. I'm like, if anybody that comes across that does it, obviously you have to do sign language, I can do my whole alphabet fast.
Look at you.
Hit it.
Well, we all know the sign in volleyball for out on that errant swing by Lush. And off the overpass, the point by the Vibe, and it's Vicini once again. She closed out the 3rd set with the block. Easy tap down here.
The service game by Atlanta coming in. Here we go, Corey Lewis.
Yeah, another out-of-system ball. Sharp angle. Well read by Monserrat. Edmund was quiet in that 3rd set. Of course, Beeson took over most of the way, and it's Vicini once more with Monserrat. Sloppy start for the Fury. Vibe taking full advantage.
Coach Bandenworth says Marley Monserrat is one of the best leaders she's ever been around. The energy and fight and the spirit she brings to the court is contagious.
Yeah, she's sad of Marley Monserrat. She's someone that you want to play with. High-level decision-making. There's the side out by Abby Walker, the rookie, quieting things down for the Fury. Yeah, Monserrat was maybe one of the bigger revelations in the Pro Volleyball Federation last year. At the beginning of the season, it was hard to imagine Tori Stringer getting unseated as the starting setter for the Vibe, but Monserrat just refused to come off the court to the point where it was probably in the best interest of Tori Stringer and the Vibe, for that matter, that they engineered that trade to bring Stringer to Columbus. Up by Timmer will lead to a joust. Monserrat and Stringer make that Monserrat and Ramelsburg as the whistle blows. Net violation on the Vibe, point to the Fury.
I love how things work out, and it really worked out for both players. So you have Stringer coming under a head coach, Coach Angel Perez, where she played for in Puerto Rico. They knew each other's game. The trust, the confidence was there. And Marley Monserrat really showing that she's an elite setter.
Edmond. Strong swing and a point by the MVP. Yeah, Tori Stringer reuniting with her teammate at Las Pincan de Corozal, where they won a league title in Puerto Rico. Stringer was named best setter in that league. And off the ricochet, Edmond gets the point down. Vibe up 4-3. I don't know if it's been the full Leah Edmond show the way Kayla Banworth perhaps wanted from her all-league outside hitter tonight. But she certainly has contributed. So is Hens with another layout dig. Cox with the up there. That looked to be going long. And the swing from the pin into the net for the Vibe point.
So one thing that's special about Leah Edmond, she has 7 kills, but in the professional game, you look a lot at points. So overall, you have Beeson killing it with points 16. So that's blocks, aces, and your attacks. You have Leah Edmond with 14 points, so that includes her blocks and aces, even though her attacking game, we've seen it at a higher level.
This one goes to Beeson.
Come on. You give Beeson enough court to look at. It's going down, and it's going down fast. Watch the inside bump set by Hens. Beeson took advantage of a little open net.
You could hear that shot rattling through Gas South Arena. A laser by Beeson to push the Vibe lead to 3. She will be fun to watch. Maybe not so if you're an opposing coach in the Pro Volleyball Federation. This time it's Edmond's turn. That's kept up by Cox. A lot of traffic, and a Fury player is down. That'll blow the whistle. It was Sarame who was on her back. Took a moment to gather herself. And it will turn into a point for the Vibe, though you're worried about Sarame being a little slow to get up.
Glad she's okay. That fast 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th send over caused that 4 contact. And Coach Angel Perez knows is important right now. You can't let Vibe slip away as you take a timeout.
And timeout for the Fury with the Vibe ahead 7-3. Fury have weathered early set runs by the Vibe, needing to do so here to keep this match going. Marley Monserrat back as the Vibe starting center. What have you made of her performance tonight, Keeley?
You know, I love her composure and the fight throughout the match. It's really elevated her team in this set, coming strong with a lot more energy, wanting to finish it out. Right now, 29 assists, 10 digs for Monterey.
She's just so solid. Talk about solid. How about that swing from Lewis?
You saw setter Stringer send the middle away on a distant set. This is a 3-set. Far away to create a one-on-one opportunity for Lewis. Lewis took a little more inside the line, going straight line, hence has been automatic on that dig.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this right now. If you're a nationwide arena this year, you got to keep your head on a swivel. Morgan Lewis is cocking back because we have seen some high-power swings from the former Oregon Duck. Vibe get the side out, back to an 8-4 lead.
Because you only get 8 subs in the pro game, nice job going to the middle, of course, is Monterey, but everyone runs a 5-1, a one-setter offense. Just imagine Raybach is back healthy, and then you have Lewis with a 2-setter 6-2 offense. Talk about the blocking and power you would have, but I like the 5-1 offense personally.
You know, and when Wilma Rivera shakes off her illness, Tori Stringer, the way she's run the show tonight, shows that Angel Perez has some depth depending on the matchup and the night at that setter position. Wanting to put a lot of pressure on the service line. The loss of Rivera was really big for Columbus. Rivera last year for Orlando was tied for second in the PVF and aces. You lose somebody who herself can get on some runs from the service line. Obviously, that puts a wrench in Coach Perez's game plan for tonight, though it's now back down to a 2-point deficit. Timber just has to throw that across. Cox. Covered well by Hentz. And off the block touch, chance for the Fury to reload. Another big swing. And that is kept over by Edmond. Well read by Monterey. Now Beeson. Lewis's turn to flash some defense. Oh, what a layup by Sarame. To make it a 1.4 set. Hentz covers it. Edmond puts it down. Emphatic end to the rally by the MVP, Leah Edmond.
Great block, touches overall, good scramble layout. Sarame making the save, but not enough. You got your back row attacker, Leah Edmond, ready to finish out this set, saying, hey, I'm ready for it, putting it down inside around the block.
She was cleared for takeoff off the feed from Monterey. Lead is 3. And Lewis can't tame that swing from the back row. Another one down for Lewis.
And that, my friends, is professional volleyball. A sweet attack by Edmond out of the back row. Lewis says, hey, I can do it too. Shutting up any momentum, swinging it back to the Fury side.
Lewis up to 15 kills. Ramelsburg from just outside of Columbus, Westerville, Ohio. And former Indiana Hoosier gets the ace off the shank from Edmond.
You can see the strategy from Fury going straight at Edmond on that serve receive game. Staying away, of course, from Hentz, putting all the pressure on Leah Edmond.
Fury trail by 1. Timmer off the give and go. Does it clip hands? Does not. Fury get the point. Vibe, adamant. They may want a challenge, and they will.
Coach Banworth going right over, making the sign for please challenge that, looking for the touch off the blocker's hands.
So we'll see what replay tells us. Will it be 9-all, or will it be 10-8 Vibe?
You can see the strategy. So when the ball is in system, which means setter Monterey's at the net, their Vibe is trying to push tempo, keep that set around antenna height, not trying to give almost a high set for the block to get set up. A lot of motion, so on that swing, they're hoping that they caught hands.
Vibe right now hitting 217. Fury 162. Checking to see if there was a touch. Get a little picture-in-picture here, Keeley. And there was a block touch. Glancing blow at best by Abby Walker.
You know,
5 point and make it 10-8.
As an attacker, sometimes you can hear it better than you can see it when you take the swing. So you're right there close looking at your coach saying, go ahead, use it.
So not only do you need good salesmanship, we talked about every volleyball player being a theater minor, but you also need to have that sonar hearing.
Yes, all of it.
I wonder if that replay might have iced the serve there. An error by the Vibe. Put Stringer back on the line. Serving once again to Edmond. Trying to take her out of the play. Lewis is long, and we're tied at 10.
Lewis had the right idea. The slide attack going down the line. The ball just a little bit outside of her shoulder to be able to create that type of angle. But the right idea was there. I would see it again. Why not set it again, Monterey?
Oh, miscommunication between Timmer and Edmond. It's an ace for Stringer, and the Fury regain the lead.
You know, Fury, they have to go back on a long road trip. There's nothing worse than losing and not competing and then getting back with all your teammates in the airplane. Long trip back. You see the competitive fight. Stringer coming strong right into that court.
Short a couple of starters, but the Fury not short of fight tonight. The off speed on the reaching swing by Beeson. Able to outfox the block.
Giving some high fives to her set Monterey to get that ball off. The pass was inside with such finesse, going short down the line is Beeson.
Beeson continuing her fine night. Oh, what a quick attack through the middle. Walker makes it terminal.
With that type of speed, if you don't commit block, it's going to go down. Walker with power and the angle. Stringer saying, hey, we're not going out without a fight.
That was a snipe by the rookie. Service error by Cox, and once again the Vibe can exhale.
You know, pre-match we spoke a little Spanish with Coach Angel Perez, and that was a muchas gracias. Thank you for missing the serve if your Vibe on the Cox attack.
Cox the one who was serving during that 10-0 set-2 run by the Fury. And I'm trying to remember if there was ever a match last year where a team had anywhere near a 10-0 run against the Vibe, the best defensive team by statistics in the Pro Volleyball Federation. I can't recall.
I can't even remember that, yes.
Lewis steps into it, has that slowed. Monterey to Edmond. Edmond for the point.
And you see the hug by Monterey. Edmond came over, picked up the dig out of transition, and then could audible. She was so close to Monterey on the set, said, hey, get me up a low inside ball in transition. I'm here.
You could kind of feel Gas South Arena hold its breath knowing that momentum hung in the balance on that last rally, but some of that squelched on the service error from the Vibe, 14-13.
And you're getting back your match legs, as we're seeing. You got 2 matches under each belt of the team. Trying to get back is both teams.
Edmond had to reach for it. And chopped wide. Point Fury. And we're tied at 14. Well, it looks like a kill was there for the taking for Atlanta, but that was a miss hit.
Monterey trying to create that side spin to get it to drop. Just put a little too much umph on it.
Monterey distributes and terminated by Beeson.
Monterey, you see the energy and want to, saying, Beeson, I'm coming your way. Let's finish this out.
15-14. It's tight in the fourth. Don't go anywhere. Here in the home opener from Atlanta. Tori Stringer running this Columbus offense with calmness, composure, cleverness as well. She's got 40 assists, 17 digs on a night where Angel Perez didn't have his starting setter in the opener, Wilma Rivera, due to illness, but clearly there was no drop-off in experience with Tori Stringer. She has stepped in and really done a nice job.
Pretty awesome to have her middle connection so strong with a 38 kill percentage is her middle walker. And then you have Lewis, 35% kill percentage. That's the setting delivery and choices by your setter Stringer.
Some young outside, some young opposites surrounding Megan Lush. Off the timeout, Hens unable to keep that up.
There you go, another middle attack. Ramelsburg getting up for Stringer. Watch how low this goes, risking it. About 8 feet off the net. Stringer forcing her middle back.
Going straight at those young Atlanta middles. Hens backspins that to Monserrat. Blocked, kept up by Hens. Played over by Timmer, but a chance for the Fury to take the set 4 lead. Monserrat. Off speed, and the layout by Lush. That is attacked and dotted in the corner by Lewis.
I thought that roll shot was going down, and then Lush coming in, saving the day for the transition play to go back finally to Lewis with that back row attack, kissing that deep corner.
Yeah, great vision there on the deep cross by Lewis. And the Fury in front, 16-15. Lewis to serve to Hens. A transition ball coming up for the Vibe. Beeson, miss-hit.
Oh, we got a match, Andy. Coming strong, Fury hold in their own on the block. A little inside set. Beeson was expecting the ball pushed a little further, tapping her chest like that was my bad, guys.
Yeah, the defense was well set between Stringer and Ramelsburg, and now it's 17-15 Fury. It has been a feisty Fury side tonight. Vibe took set 1. Fury ran away from set 2. Vibe really asserted themselves in the third set to win 25-18. There's a side out by Edmond, desperately needed to pull the Vibe within 1.
Edmond lined up right before she's going back to serve on the right side. That's Monterrey giving a one-on-one opportunity with the late middle on the close for Edmond.
Stringer feeds Lewis. Oh, what a
good
reflex dig by Hens! But a great dig by Sarame on the other side. Lush now. Deep cross. It's down. Point Fury.
Morgan Hens was a sweet take. Sarame coming back. And then Lush with the finish. Watch the power and the vision. Going deep. Nice flat ball over around that block.
She can still swing with authority after all these years. The former Penn State Nittany Lion, 2-time national champ. Of course, the Nittany Lions national champions this past season. Pushes the Fury lead back up to 2. Point will have to come out of system by the Vibe. It's handled by Lush, dumped over on 2 by Stringer. Monserrat ranging underneath it. Block touch off the swing from Beeson. It's Lewis. Doesn't have the angle. Timmer off speed. A scramble, but it's kept up and played over. Beeson blocked by Cox. Ramelsburg was there as well.
Oh, Pro Volleyball Federation here to play. Watch the vision. Get it, Cox. Straight down off of Beeson.
19-16 Columbus. The defense pushing this lead to 3 for the Fury and a Vibe timeout.
Ooh, Fury. That defensive effort, attention to detail, and the energy. Fury's got it right now.
At a big moment in this 4th set. It's the rookies and youngsters rising to the occasion. The rookie Cox, the second-year pro Ramelsburg, who played last season in Finland. Lewis, second-year pro. They are growing up fast for Angel Perez. And Kaylee Cox with that big block to make it 19-16. Take a look at Kaylee Cox's night.
Kaylee Cox putting up 16 points for her team. You added 2 aces to that, and yes, 12 kills. 39% of her attacks going down. You got Cox swinging on the outside, just incredible job overall. What a game and performance you're seeing for this rookie getting the start today against the reigning regular season champions with Vibe.
Reinforcing what Angel Perez said of her rookie, that she may have the highest ceiling of anyone on the team. After a 10-kill night in that 4-set loss to San Diego, Fury trying to push this match to a 5th set. Remember, on opening night, the Vibe lost in 5 to the Supernovas. Fury had the Vibe's number as much as any team could have it in the regular season last year. That cut shot was sharp, but it was good from Beeson.
Nice job, Beeson. Watch the set going all the way to the antenna. Beeson got it on a right, created side spin to get that drop on the other right side of the court.
That was tight zone to zone. Stops the Fury run. 17 serving 19. Monserrat with the layout dig. And the tool for the point. Cox showing some craftiness there.
Line it up. Get that anything down the line. Cox is getting kills. This one going tool off the right hand of Beeson as she tries to pull her fingers back to avoid the tool shot.
Make it 20-17 Fury.
Ooh-wee, Andy.
Tight set. Swatted down by Lewis. Great up, though, by Ramelsberg. Cox has another one in her. She's got plenty in the tank still.
Oh, are you kidding me? Cox, loving your game. She's got the it factor, that competitive spirit, and game around that type of energy. Get you some, Cox.
Tell you what, next match at Nationwide Arena, she might be the fan favorite. Ramelsberg back to serve. Fury lead by 4. And off the outside hand of the block, a tooled point for the Vibe. That was a scream of frustration, it seemed, from Timmer.
Timmer's been quiet on the outside. That's one of her first attempts in a while. That's a, guys, I want to win this match for our team type of swing.
Anna Dixon subs in for Atlanta. And also Whitney Bauer, the former BYU Cougar, with the left-handed serve. Cox over the double block. That was sharp and down. There is not a seam she isn't seeing right now.
That's like a sprinkler game. You work the line shot, deep cross court, that inside cut shot. Let's go. Get you some, Kaylee Cox.
Fury within 3 points of forcing a 5th set. I wouldn't say Gas South Arena is stunned right now, but they are restless. Oh, the block touch by Dixon. That did not look promising off the first contact, but Dixon on her first swing of the night, able to muscle that through.
Nice job, Dixon, taking some notes from watching the match, saying, hey, I can get a kill for my team if given the opportunity down the line off the hands.
See if Timmer tries to push points at the service line, but into the net.
Fury sitting pretty. So you're in a side-out game right now. Service, your best server of the match so far on the service line. This is where you create a run, and if not, a quick side-out.
Rookie Raina Terry comes in for defense. Cox with the jump top. Lewis, there hasn't been a lot of success through the middle for the Vibe tonight, certainly compared to their last match versus San Diego, or versus Las Vegas, I should say. That time Lewis off the trampoline and down.
Lewis turned that ball. It wasn't like a push set all the way toward her left side. Lewis saw the block set up to her right, took it to her left.
Lewis with a thump, and it's set point for the Fury.
I think she found her home. Lewis on the right side. Are you kidding me? Nice job. Look at that, the late block motion, but it didn't matter. That ball was going straight down.
Yeah, that is so clean by Lewis. Edmond, there's one. 24-21. Trying to fire up her teammates.
You know, we're looking at it. Leah Edmond, if she can get going, if this goes 5, it's a good sign as she turns this one line, recognizing the block was set up on the inside.
In the Vibe's last 8 home matches last season, Keeley, they only had 3 total set losses. And I know that there's not a lot that carries over from the end of one season to the beginning of another. It looks like the Fury are going to challenge this last kill by Leah Edmond. But the Vibe not only were so good at home, but rarely were they challenged this deep into a match, as we're seeing tonight by the Fury. They're challenging a center line fault, and as you can clearly see, there was none. Or it was there. Ooh.
What can be called right now, because your foot cannot cross that line, is that if the ball was away from the point of a line contact, you can let it slide.
So no center line contact. And the 4-set continues with Monserrat to serve. Vibe 21, Fury 24. Can the Vibe stave off a 5th set on opening night? Not a great first contact by Cox. Might leave the door open. Hence the ding. Pass by Monserrat. Swing by Edmond was turned back. Now it's Beeson over the triple block. One-handed dig, Sarah May. Sarah May gets to another one. Lush for set point. Edmond takes another crack, and this time puts it down.
You had libero Sarah May coming in strong with 2 big digs, but the finish holding tight is Leah Edmond, changing shots, finally find off a triple block, the deep corner for the kill.
Angel Perez, Fury head coach, wants to restore order. He calls timeout, now 24-22.
And do you know Vibe will be serving Cox in this serve receive pattern. Their goal is to get him out of system. If Cox can stick this pass, you have Lewis on the right side just putting up some power swings in this set. That's where Stringer will be looking, but it all starts, can Cox pass his first serve receive ball?
So assuming that she clears that, if you're Tori Stringer, where are you going? You going to Lewis?
Right side to Lewis.
Yep.
Go ahead. Finish it off. Send my middle away. A distance set. Make the middle blocker move with her. Create a moving block finish. And Lewis getting the kill.
Lewis tonight with a team-high 21 points, 18 kills, 3 blocks. And remember, she had 127 kills for the Mojo last year, so she brings in PVF experience with this young Fury squad as they hunt for that final point to push this to a 5th. Monserrat will try to put some pressure on the service line. See if she does target Cox. She's in the middle back. Good ball.
Look at that.
Lewis up high, puts it away, and to a 5th set we go. Well, I tell you what, the Fury, young, on the road, short-handed, showing loads of resilience against the reigning regular season champion Vibe. It'll take the 1st to 15 to settle this one. Don't go anywhere. The Vibe and Columbus Fury. 18 kills to lead the way by the rookie Merritt Beeson. It's Morgan Lewis on the other side for Columbus, pacing the Fury. She's got 19 kills, both stepping up in a big way. And who can execute better under the nerves of a fifth set? Second five-setter of the year for the Vibe. This Fury team looks completely different than the one that we saw drop 4 sets to the Mojo on their opening night.
I thought Stringer did an excellent job forcing the middle attack and then using the middle as a decoy, going back to Lewis to finish out the match. Excellent setting choices. Overall, I think Atlanta needs to come back to that passing game, getting in the rhythm. Monterrey, the setter, finding Corey Lewis in this offense would be key, just to take some pressure off of Edmond on the outside while you're in that serve-receive pattern.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get from Edmond. You're quickly learning what you're getting from Merritt Beeson. Can that third hitter emerge, and can Monterrey keep that Fury team off balance?
One player right there, Merritt Beeson, can take over the match. We've seen it before throughout her collegiate career, and that's another one. Edmond on the outside for Vibe. Do you have enough energy and legs to finish out a fifth set, because this Fury is not going anywhere?
Fearlessness to push this to a fifth set. It'll be the Fury to serve first, and Tori Stringer, the former Vibe. Well handled by Timmer, and it's Edmond down the line, but she sprays it wide.
You saw Stringer off that swing. Edmond had the look, just missed it a little wide, but it was like winning national championship. Like, yes! Right in the, that's how much you see that want to for Stringer to win this match, getting the start as a setter.
Yeah, that line shot was definitely there by Edmond. Edmond will get another crack at it, going off speed. Nicely done by Stringer to keep it up. Out of the back row, it's Timmer. Slowed at the net. Quick set and put through. Walker snapping it down, and it's 2-0 Fury.
Fury showing a lot more offensive threats than you're seeing from the Vibe side. Coming up, Walker, 4-set delivery because it's been automatic. Great feel of your middle. Tori Stringer.
Abby Walker, selective but effective, I guess is the best way to describe her tonight. And the Fury have opened up the 2-0 set 5 lead. You know, and give the Fury credit, as that one is missed by Stringer. The Fury have not allowed the Vibe to get a lot of first ball kills. They've been very sparse tonight.
I agree, and the touch off the block's been key in the scramble plays. Anything roll shot tips, Fury's been picking up after that first set.
Last year, Vibe won 15 of their last 17 regular season matches. Long way to go for Beeson. She can't track it down, and it's 3-1 Fury. But last year, the Vibe finished 15-2 in the regular season. Those 2 defeats, though, were both by the Fury.
You almost wonder if player Cox on the service line right now knows that. The way she competes, it's just, she's got that it factor. Coming in strong, every part of her game locked in.
They're being pretty unrepentant in feeding Timmer on the serve, as Cox can't slide underneath that. Vibe get the side out.
Vincini coming all the way across the net. It's an in-front slide attack, change up, creating just a little chaos on that defensive side. Great job. Staying creative.
Yeah,
you got to do it.
The middle slide in the fifth set.
In front of the setter. I love it.
Sometimes you need to be unorthodox. Another quick setup, hands with a one-handed dig. Tight angle for Edmond, but does she hit the net? Evidently so. Edmond in disbelief as the point gets awarded to the Fury. Kayla Banworth will march out from the bench. Edmond getting an explanation.
R1 Young Park is calling the double contact from Edmond, saying that ball had too much spin off your 2 hands, getting the double contact.
Also not a net violation. Hard to tell from our angle. Edmond again has that blocked. Not that time. Beeson.
Maybe a thought, because Beeson's getting offense on the outside. The time she's with Edmond, just put him, change him up. Put Beeson on the left, Edmond on the right, because that serve receive pattern with Edmond on the right, that's getting offense. Might be an idea.
Edmond with the serve. Once again, the quick set, Ramelsburg. They have opened that up from the 4-set on.
Let's go, Stringer, running an offense. But it started, Andy, with the pass. Setter Stringer at the net, going close enough that she could get her middle of the ball.
And that is a 51st assist for Tori Stringer. Her season high last year in assists for the Fury was against the Vibe, 51. Cox the dig from the back. It's Lush through the double block, finds the gap, finds the point.
Here comes the Fury. Look at the offensive weapons. You had 2 middle attacks. Now you're adding Lush on the outside, and Cox was doing it before her service game. Fury, 4 attackers strong in this 5th set.
Timeout for the Vibe. As much as we've lauded the youngsters, it's the veteran Megan Lush pushing the Fury lead to 3 in the 5th. You know, Tori Stringer would find a little extra satisfaction in a come-from-behind win on the road versus her former team. Got in the Fury to a 6-3 lead over Atlanta here in the 5th set. And the Fury back to serve. Monserrat off the back set, off speed, in for Merritt Beeson.
So clever, throwing in an off-speed shot off a good set. Good pass. Nice job, Beeson, changing it up. You had respect by all of the defenders sitting back on their heels.
And Bianca Bertolino will now come in, serving specialist, the rookie from Georgia Tech. She appeared late in the 1st set. First time on the court since. Lush takes care of that. On the give and go, gets the campfire point.
100% off the give and go. You got the pass by Lush off a strong serve by Bertolino, sticking it and then throwing in the drop shot. It's called the campfire because everyone stands around trying to look at it. Nice job, Lush.
Just knows the right type of swing, the right type of hit for the moment. 7 serving 4. Beeson has that redirected, bumped up by Stringer. Now it's Cox. Cox will take a quick jump and set it down. 8-4 Columbus.
On the court, you can feel the competitive spirit. And right now, it is all on the side of Fury. Staying together, talking, communication, and the want to is there.
And the Fury are 7 points away, Keely, from turning a lot of heads around the Pro Volleyball Federation. As we saw preseason rankings, Vibe were 1st, Fury were 8th. But anybody who followed this league last year knew Angel Perez had cracked the code with those 2 regular season wins against Atlanta. There is work to do for the regular season champion Vibe, who are in danger of falling to 1-2. Not just a first win of the season for Angel Perez, but considering the circumstances, down a couple of starters on the road with a young team, this could be have a perpetuating effect in terms of confidence. That's swatted through by Timmer. Easy does it for Pia Timmer.
Pia Timmer can bring offense. You got a Vibe, you're just looking for it in the 5th set. Who's going to do it? Timmer keeps asking for the ball as you see Dixon coming in with Bauer with the double sub to create a stronger blocking front row presence and a little more offensive attack.
Whitney Bauer, second-year pro from BYU, did not play in the last match. She was activated by the Vibe after the Tori Stringer trade last year, and she gets the ace, 8-5.
You bring fresh legs and energy when you get Bauer in the back in the match. Nice job dropping that between two passers as she's trying to make Cox play that first ball.
Fury have not been ace prone tonight. That's just not been a reliable part of the Vibes offense. Oh, trying to dot the corner, missing long. Like the idea from Bauer, but that is high risk and a high leverage serve.
Ooh-wee, this is a good one, but you got Sarame out in this serve receive pattern as the middle's going back to serve. So Atlanta Vibes going to try to work that left side of the court if they get an attack.
They go to the right side and off the block and out of bounds for the point from Timmer.
You saw Timmer trying to go line. She got the friendly tool off the block. Either way, she was trying to go left side on the attack with her swing.
Vibe trail by 2. Another good first contact. Big jump by Lewis. Great dig, though, by Hens. It's Bauer having to set, getting the point. Dixon. Clutch by Dixon.
Dixon turned on the overpass to cause the touch. That was everything. Watch her turn right here. Getting the touch to slow it down and then turning back to get the transition play off of Bauer. That is how you step into for your team.
Lewis didn't have the angle. Bauer. And thrown down by Lewis. A 3-0 run by the Vibe, and we're tied at 9.
Bauer having a lot more time with Lewis in practice because Lewis wasn't a starter early on. Now earned that role. The center-middle connection is there with Bauer, and Coach Banworth knows it.
And a timeout for Columbus, and this Vibe rally has been kickstarted by a lot of reserve players, Bauer and Dixon and Lewis. So it's been maybe the less likelier suspects.
And you see Monterey going over to talk to Bauer like, hey, we're in this, stay on it. Way to bring that energy and fight. And Shelly Fanny getting in it as well.
The Vibe trailed by 4 in this 5th set, tied at 9. And to think we've got 3 more regular season matches between these two teams, Keely.
Oh, how fun.
Whew. Crowd
I'm
is
so
back
impressed.
in it. Yep. Crowd back in it. Lively atmosphere this Thursday night at Gas South Arena as they welcome home their regular season champions from 2024. They protected their home court as well as any team in the Pro Volleyball Federation last year. And having a rally in the 5th set. Vibe took the first. Fury rallied to win the second. Vibe took set 3. But it was the Fury with the set 4 victory. Timber to serve. Stringer. Parried at the net. Bauer.
Okay.
The feed and the finish. Dixon one more. Vibe in front.
Let's say Atlanta Vibe wins this match. You're going Dixon coming in strong, and it's the Bauer combination. Coach Banworth making an excellent strategic move, placing the double sub.
This takes a lot of trust in players like Anna Dixon. You know those legs are fresh, though. The back row swing, Hans gets the dig over. Bauer with the up. Dixon, does she have another one in her? Off speed, Sarame lays out. Edmond had a lot of court to work with, but she sprays it. And we're tied at 10.
Relentless defense and effort, just holding on. Fury happy to get that serve receive side out as Stringer's going back to serve, but that means Lewis is in your front row pattern offensively on the right side for Fury.
Regardless of how this 5th set concludes, you got to tip your cap to the Fury. They have not flinched. Oh, violation. Give the point to the Vibe.
This is not something you can challenge as you see the shake off. Like, nope, this is not a challenge call. You cannot argue. So this was called at over. The block was taking the setter Bauer going up with 2 hands, and that's key, guys. You go up with 2 hands, you show the referee you're going to set the ball. If you go up with 1, it looks like an attack.
Yeah, Abby Walker was caught there by the Fury. Off the back set, sharp angle swing by Lewis. Edmond now crushes it, Sarame with the dig. Great defense by Sarame, and it turns into a Fury point. Tied at 11.
Sarame saving the day on that, and then Cox turning that ball, staying away from Morgan Hens, anything cross court, taking it high off the line. Great job, Kaylee Cox today.
Now Sarame's played some high-level defense here late. It's Cox to serve, tied at 11. Edmond tames it. The back row swing and the kill. Pia Timmer.
How fast did that set pop off? Watch Bauer get this off, and Timmer just cutting it up with a strong redirect hand shot. Timmer, 2 kills in this set so far.
Vibe serving on top, 12-11. Tell by her countenance, Timber had been frustrated earlier this match. Starting to crank it loose now in the 5th when her team needs it. Monterey with the serve. It'll be a scramble and a transition ball for the Vibe. Oh, does that direct off a Beeson? It does.
Oh, Lush, are you kidding me? That is such a heads-up play. Watch all the way over. Seen Beeson was taking it down the line, got the block, and bounced off of Beeson's shoulder.
And he got the ricochet, ties us at 12. Edmond over the double block. Long.
Edmond does so much for Atlanta Vibe, but offensively just not there right now. If you're Monterey, you got to look elsewhere just to finish out the match, because Fury sitting strong now with a point ahead.
Yeah, Leah Edmond is always a threat, but just has not been in rhythm. Beeson has another kill for the rookie. Tied at 13, down to the wire in set 5.
There you go, looking elsewhere right here. Going low and flat. Nice job, Beeson, 6'4", around that block, getting it to drop.
Beeson with the 21st kill.
The middles have been good if you can get a pass. Nope.
Yeah, not in rhythm for that. And the solo block, Bacchini.
Yes.
And it's match point for the Vibe. Timeout, Columbus. One more look, Bacchini read it well off the swing from Lewis. And the former Stanford Cardinal might just rescue the Vibe on their opening night.
Such a huge play. It doesn't matter the level of volleyball. It really does come down to the serve and pass game. Nice job, Edmond, on that service line, dropping it short, creating that type of scramble for Vincini to finally get that block.
Hasn't necessarily been a block party for the Vibe tonight, but there might not be a more timely one than that one a moment ago by Bacchini. Remember, the Vibe had to go on a 3-0 run. They were down 9-6 and they're down 8-4 in this 5th set. Fury had the momentum, but hard to put away this Atlanta Vibe team, the preseason league favorite.
And pretty impressive. I think that if Vibe finishes out this match, it was the double sub with Bauer and Dixon coming in. That was such an impressive decision to throw it early by Coach Banworth and her team.
Yeah, that could prove to be a very inspired decision, but in these moments you rely on your heavy hitters like Leah Edmond. Put it in play with the Vibe up 14-13.
Great touch.
Edmond, Monserrat, chopped down, missing wide by Bacchini. She got the block to get match point, but could not put the Vibe over the top.
Vincini coming off of 1 foot. She just threw it a little wide. I think she thought she was a little more inside in her normal position. Wow, good side out for Fury.
Oh, Beeson, what a snipe, but what a dig by Lush. Timmer. Covered well by Lewis.
Smart.
Defense has been so good. Oh, the scramble, the off speed from Beeson. And it's another match point for the Vibe.
Beeson will find a way. Nice changeup. It's all about showing you're going to hit and then dropping it short. That's an effective tip right there by Beeson.
Vicini will have a chance to redeem herself after mishitting on a potential match point to serve. 15-14. Lush can't deliver. Beeson!
Game.
And that will do it. Vibe had to earn this till the very end. But on opening night, they protect the home floor and knock off the Columbus Fury 16-14 in the fifth. One more look. It was Edmond with the cover, and it was the rookie, Merritt Beeson, showing why she was #1 in the PVF draft. Too much smoke on that swing for Stringer and the Fury to run it down. Vibe were pushed to the brink by this young Fury side, but ultimately, it's Atlanta in 5 sets, Keely.
How impressive. This is the start of 2025 for Pro Volleyball Federation. Exciting to see what's ahead. Fury came in strong, stayed together, stayed united. Atlanta figured out a way to win. That double sub at the end was so key. Nice job staying strong in your first home opener in 2025.
Kayla Banworth pushed the right buttons with that double sub, like you said. Her Vibe team was down 8-4 in that fifth set. They wind up victorious 16-14 in the fifth as the Vibe moved to 2-1. Fury fall to 0-2. For Keely Evil and our entire crew, and to Demetra Singh, so long from Atlanta. Thanks for watching the Pro Volleyball Federation.